Us tonight. My name is Langston Evans, and we'll just get going here in about a minute. We'll wait for some folks to continue to jump into our virtual space with us tonight and join us for our presentation. If you notice the chat in the Zoom feature, that you can access the chat, and we are putting our slideshows for tonight in the chat. So I invite you all to find the chat feature, which should be at the bottom of your screen if it's not visible, um, and access the slideshows that we are using tonight. And we'll get going here in about 30 seconds. All right, we are going to get going. Again, welcome everyone. My name is Langston Evans, and I am privileged to be the Director of College and Career Readiness for the Madison Metropolitan School District. And we are presenting our MMSD High School Opportunities Night 2024. So thank you all for joining us. As I mentioned previously, there are slideshows. The shows that you are seeing on your screen right now is available in the chat feature. And this session is being recorded and will be made available to everyone here and all the folks who weren't able to make it as well. I just want to do a little bit of orientation before we jump into the fun. If you are on Zoom and you are not seeing the slideshow or a slide that says High School Opportunities Night 2024 with some QR codes and arrows, then you may have on your screen an opportunity to see the meeting and Jessica Miller's screen. I invite you to click so you're seeing Jessica Miller's screen that has the slideshow on it with the arrows, the QR codes, and that will be what we'll be using for tonight. So again, the slideshows are in the chat. You can use the QR code to access our slides in English, Spanish, and Hmong. Next slide, please. We also have interpretation in Spanish and Hmong. So for those who would like interpretation, you can go to the interpretation feature at the bottom bar of the Zoom, and you can choose to hear this presentation in Spanish or Hmong. Next slide, please. The purpose of tonight's presentation is to connect our 8th graders' vision of where they are today with where they want to be as successful adults in the future. And believe it or not, taking advantage of the amazing opportunities that we have in our world-class high schools is absolutely critical for our students to ensure their success. And tonight begins an opportunity for us to share all of the resources and opportunities and people we have to support our scholars and our families in our high schools in Madison Metropolitan School District. And so we want to start uh, with grounding in our MMSD vision. And it is up on the screen, but I will bring voice to it because I think it's important for us to hear what our vision is as a school district. And that is that every school will be a thriving school that prepares every student to graduate ready for college, career, and community. This is the foundation of everything that we do in our district. being the second largest district in the state of Wisconsin with 52 schools, over 25,000 students, four comprehensive high schools and four alternative high schools. There are so many opportunities for our eighth grade scholars and their families to meet their dreams and build their futures. Uh, and so it really preparing for success in life, college, and career begins as soon as you enter the doors to the MMSD system in elementary or whatever grade you've joined us in MMSD. But it really kicks up a notch when we get to sixth grade. Um, do some of you remember sixth grade, 2022, 2023? Seems like so long ago, but almost just yesterday. That is when our scholars began getting explicit lessons and opportunities to discover their own interests, learning styles, and future goals, and think about how that connects to what is out there in our community and beyond. We call this academic and career planning. And if you look at the wheel on the slideshow, it really describes what that process for academic and career planning is for our scholars. They get an opportunity to think about who they are as humans and scholars and people and family members, and then think about where they want to go. What are their dreams? What are their aspirations? Not just in middle school, but also high school and in life. And then spend time to think about how will they get there? What is the path that I need to take to accomplish my dreams, whether it be family, career, college, or life? How will I get there? And then finally, how can we get there together? How can they use their peers, their families, our educators, and our community to ensure that they achieve the goals and passions and desires that they have? Uh, Remember, scholars, this step from middle school to high school is just another step, and you are not alone. We are committed as a school district and as a community to support you on the way. Next slide, please. So the overview of tonight's presentation will be how are we thinking of the opportunities that we have in high school? We've spent millions of dollars to renovate and improve our high schools. We have the most amazing staff and the most amazing opportunities. And we want to present everything to you tonight, but we know we don't have enough time to do that. And so we'll talk about first, what are the school choices and opportunities that our eighth graders and families may want to consider when thinking about high school. And then we'll talk about some of the programs within our comprehensive high schools that our students will have access to. And then finally, tonight, we'll talk about the myriad of experiences uh, that students can choose to engage in at any of our high schools. And so that will be how we organize our conversation for tonight. Next slide, please. So one of the things that we want to do is think about what are the choices of high schools that we have? And we have so many exciting choices and so many things that are going on in our high schools. We know that we will highlight 7 of our high schools tonight, and we look forward to hearing from each of them as they present what they do. Next slide, please. As we engage in the conversation, the presentation tonight, I invite you, scholars, think about schools not simply as a place to go every day, not simply as 7 periods in a day with lunch and bus rides and friends, but they are the launch pad to your future. It's a journey that you will take to the way you want to be successful in life. It's your journey, it's your way. We want to think about our neighborhood high schools and our comprehensive high schools, and you will take subjects like English and math and science and history. But you'll also be able to explore passions with electives like choir and auto shop and culinary arts and theater and so much more. And in our choice high schools, which provide smaller environments and more specialized learning, you'll have opportunities to engage in schools that might be different than the traditional path. Remember, the choice is yours and the future starts here. Next slide, please. Each of our comprehensive high schools, East, West, La Follette, and Memorial, will have nights where they present their information and resources to eighth grade students and families so that they can learn from the schools themselves what are all the opportunities that will be at that particular high school. And so we want to make sure you're aware of these opportunities that will be happening at the high schools. As you can see on this slide, Memorial will have their night at Memorial Thursday, January 16th. West will have their night for eighth grade students and families at West Monday, January 13th. Next slide, please. East will have their night, and La Follette will have their night on the same night, Wednesday, January 8th. And we encourage you to go to the school that is most appropriate for you and engage and learn more about what's specific and amazing and awesome about that school. Next slide, please. We want to provide one of the programs that we'll at least highlight later is the UW People program, which is open to eighth grade students. Uh, and there are flyers and recruitment that will begin uh, opportunities to engage January 16th virtually and January 25th at Joke Residence Hall. So that's another opportunity for you to engage in the UW People program, which is a college preparatory program for students who are interested in getting support in high school to prepare them for college. And some of the students may win and may earn a four-year tuition scholarship at UW-Madison. So that's something that we encourage you to check out if you feel like it's right for you. Next slide, please. Again, we want to remind you that there is interpretation available. You can listen to the presentation in both Spanish and Hmong, and that is available at the bottom bar of your Zoom presentation. First up in our list of high schools to hear about is Madison Promise. And I invite Andrew Stendal to talk to you more about Madison Promise.
Hey y'all, very excited to be here. Thank you. So my name is Andrew Stendal. I'm the school counselor for our online program here in the district, and we currently serve students in grade 6 all the way up to grade 12. And we mirror what is happening for the most part as far as core classes, but obviously we can't offer all of the really fun electives like auto and different art classes and some of the hands-on stuff. But if you're looking for a virtual option, I'd love to talk to you more about it, and we'll just go through a couple slides real quick. So we can go to the next slide. So that is our director, Dr. Ebby. And then you got me as a school counselor, and then Miss Klinkner kind of runs everything behind the scenes. So we're a small team, but we love what we do, and this is our 4th year, so we're very excited. We've got our first graduating class of seniors. Next slide, please. So what we built our program on is strong student engagement. And I'll be honest, you're working with teenagers, they have to be dedicated to opening their Chromebook and coming into live classes and doing their work in their computer every day. And you know your teens best, and some teens can handle that and need that, and other teens will be distracted. But our teachers love engaging with our kids online. They're all MMSD certified teachers. There's a ton of flexibility with the online program. That is our students' favorite part, is that they can go to class or watch recordings later and do their homework whenever they want. So it's a very flexible program that kids love. And then obviously that is a big part of their decision in taking charge of their education. Next slide, please. So like I said, the instruction meets the state and district standards. So they are part of their homeschool first and foremost. So if it's a Memorial student, that's their homeschool. They can go to those dances, they can play in those sports, and they will get their diploma from that homeschool. What they do is just take the online curriculum with us. And our teachers provide classes synchronously and asynchronously. So there's live classes, and then, like I said, there's recorded classes that students can go back and watch. We follow all of the sequencing for the schools, the brick and mortar schools, to get their 22 credits to graduate. And then lastly, we have one-on-one office hours with our teachers, so students can get that individual time. Since there's a lot of time in our day and we're very flexible, there's a lot of time for kids to get one-on-one support. Next slide. So once you're in Pearson, this is an example homepage. So you can see this kid has their Spanish, their homeroom class, geometry, US history, bio. Every one of their classes is located on their homepage within Pearson, which they access through their school Chromebook. So everything they do is online on their Chromebook. Next page. And this is just a sample schedule for what a ninth grade schedule looks like this year. So I look at it as Monday and Thursday is an A day, and Tuesday and Friday is a B day. So you've got your algebra, history, English, biology. You've got your 4 core classes. And then students can pick art. We offer Spanish and French, and then they'll have PE. So they can still take up to 7 classes. But like I said, we just don't have a ton of other electives, and we don't have a lot of honor classes. We have 2 AP classes that we usually tell students to take junior and senior year. So we're a small program with limited options, but if you're looking for something online, we might be able to help you out. Next slide. And then here are our contacts. And then we do have a very simple online application. And then you'll set up a very short interview with me after you apply. And if you like it and you think it's going to be a good fit, we'll give you information on orientation, and then we'll move forward, and you would start at the beginning of the year online instead of in person. So please feel free to reach out. I'll put my email in the chat, but you can also just Google Madison Promise and find our website there as well. Thank you.
Just another reminder about interpretation. And now I invite Elizabeth Long to speak about Shabazz.
Sorry. Thanks, Langston. So Shabazz is a smaller alternative, a little bit bigger than Promise, and we offer primarily the focus of what we do is project-based learning. And so we're going to start with a video which was made to showcase a little bit more about what it is that we do at Shabazz. So go ahead, Jess.
Welcome back to our Community Spotlight series. You're watching Best of Wisconsin Homes, and I'm at Shabazz High School here today with Chris and Eric and Brian, some of the great teachers and leaders in the school, and going to share a little bit more about Shabazz and what's going on in the school here.
For sure. Well, so Shabazz, Malcolm Shabazz City High School is a alternative diploma granting MMSD school, like all the other schools. We service about 130 students from all around the Madison area. We're named after Malcolm X, the famous civil rights activist. And what we do here is we really focus on trying to have a safe and inclusive environment, creative and kind of flexible classrooms, small rooms. We work with project-based learning and kind of try to have real-world applications to the things that are happening in our classrooms.
Interesting. So a little bit project-based learning. What I think you know a little bit more about that. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, so project-based learning, it's kind of like EduSpeak, but it's essentially giving students an opportunity to do real things. So we have kind of a mindset of trying to make the classroom and the school look and feel different for students, and hopefully building engagement with that. So Shabazz had a really long history of activism, looking at different ways of doing service learning, and so project-based learning is this really great umbrella of helping students. I kind of use the tag phrase of like, do the doing. In school, a lot of times you'll like read about it, and you'll talk about it, and like, well, how can we get you out in the community to do it also? And so it ends up kind of bubbling up in lots of ways. We have what are called interdisciplinary classes. So there are learning lab classes in particular. At the end of the day, we have like a 2-hour block. And instead of having just a class about science or English, it's, hey, let's pick a topic. So if there's an environmental issue or something, a social issue that's out there, or something around music or culinary arts, how can we pull all the different subject threads, you know, into that class that maybe don't just live in one silo. And the advantage of that then is like, well, how can we find a community partner that does really cool culinary stuff? How can we find someone that's really engaging for students to work with and be like, oh yeah, I can see myself in this space. Like I get it now, as opposed to, that was a really cool book. Maybe when I'm 18, I could, you know, check that out. And just ends up creating a lot of really rich learning opportunities. Give students a chance to say one of two things: either find out they love something and be like, wow, I can see myself here, or maybe that they hate something, and that's actually something really important too to know. But then they leave high school knowing like this kind of pocket of tools of, this is something I could see exploring more. And I just had a lot of great experience, which we often will talk about too, of like worst case scenario, you walk away living life and having some really good experiences in school. So
Got it. So the curriculum is kind of more, it sounds more open-ended. Is that a fair statement, or what is that
make
like?
it a little bit more dynamic. We shifted our schedule. Actually, looks even a little bit different to reflect that. We feel like our schedule, you know, kind of reflects our values. So we have these kind of longer chunk classes at the end of the day. Our Wednesday has a lot of flexibility where students can get out of the building, work with community partners, and then we can follow students' voice and choice. So if students are into it, we can roll with that. If they're like, hey, what about we kind of take a left turn and try this part of the issue, we can do that too, which we think, you know, keeps students engaged, and that's how real world works, right? So,
yeah, absolutely. And then after school, some things happen. You got some other programming involved for what happens after Shabazz school?
Yeah, so actually one of the things, because of the flexibility we have in the schedule, especially in the afternoons, is one of the learning labs we have is called Work It. And it's a chance for students to get out in the community and explore possible career options, or just learn some of the employability skills that the district uses with their work-based learning. So for example, we have, if a student comes into Work It, is interested in becoming a vet, we can try to set that student up in an experience, and we have set a student up in an experience where they're working in a veterinary clinic every day. They get to leave school a little early to get over there, usually working past the school hours, to get that experience and find out if that's what they want to do. We have another student, we were just mentioning culinary classes. that we have here in those interdisciplinary classes, where students have been able to work with local community partners at using local produce and food sources, and going out now in the community and being a culinary intern, working in different restaurants here in the Madison area as a career pathway. And then next semester, actually beginning the training at Madison College in their culinary arts program while still a student here.
Got it. And this is kind of an opt-in type of school, is that right? Kind of.
Yep, students apply to come here from the other comprehensive schools, and if we have enough applications, there may have to be a lottery system.
Okay.
But we try to fit everyone who wants to be here.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the many good options in the Madison School District, and sounds like some really unique things happening here. So
We're proud of what we do.
absolutely. Well, I really appreciate you guys coming on the show and sharing more about our Madison School District and our Community Spotlight. And I'm Josh with Josh Lavick and Associates, and just grateful for.
All right, so the video really speaks a lot to what we do at Shabazz. Our focus really is project-based learning for many of our classes. Our schedule is set up to accommodate that with a longer chunk of time at the end of the day for students to do an interdisciplinary class. Things that are unique about Shabazz, we have a smaller learning community, which often allows students to feel more safe, supported, and understood. We work on community-wide restorative practices, and we really focus on developing empathy for self and others. And we do a ton of community building, and community building and community work is a key part of what we do as a part of our community at Shabazz. Next slide. So in the video, it talked about project-based learning. Like I said, that is a big chunk of what we do. Through project-based learning, there are interdisciplinary courses that allow for multiple types of credit at one time. So for example, at the end of the day, students have a 2-hour chunk of time that they might have a class, like the top picture shows a printmaking class, and incorporated social studies credit and art credit into that class. We also have E3, which is every Wednesday, which is similar to an advisory. Students work on community building, post-high school planning. They work through their Shabazz growth summaries, which reflects their learning throughout their time at Shabazz. And we have many elective courses, but we don't have the same breadth of courses that the comprehensives do because we are smaller. Next slide. This is our equity vision. This is a really important part of what we do. As a staff, we are committed to doing equity work on the regular and really want to hear the voices of our students in what we're doing and how we can make things better for them and our community. Next slide. So the ways that we do this at Shabazz, we have multi-age courses. So majority of our courses have students 9th through 12th grades in the class. The exception is E3, which is the only grade specific class that students have at Shabazz. Students need to graduate with 22 credits, which is the same for the rest of MMSD. And a big difference is that we do not give letter grades. Shabazz students earn a grade of pass or no credit, and then they do the growth summaries to reflect on skill development and growth over time. Our schedule, like I said, is really different, and you can check it out on our website. And it allows for students to have more core classes and then also the learning labs which provide really unique experiences. One of the key things about Shabazz is our field experiences. Students spend a lot of time outside of school during the day doing hands-on learning. And so it's really important, if you're thinking about Shabazz, to also think about your willingness to go on field experiences anywhere from 1 to 3 or 4 times a week in a class, depending on what class you're in. Next slide. So if you're interested in Shabazz, we are a school that you need to apply. Students can't yet apply for Shabazz. That will happen in April of 2025. What you should do is still sign up for classes at the high school that you would typically go to. Talk with your counselor or other support staff or staff at your school about your interest in Shabazz. And then if you check out the Shabazz admissions webpage, it is currently set up for the spring semester admissions. We're just finishing that, but it will be updated early spring to have more information about applying for the fall 2025 semester. And if you have any questions in the meantime, feel free to reach out to me. I'm Elizabeth Long, I'm the counselor at Shabazz, and we can get those answered.
Thank you. I was hoping just to piggyback real quick. I think I said that you could apply now, but similar to Shabazz, we are in the middle of applying for semester 2 applicants. That is not you 8th graders. You will get a separate application. It'll be the same application, but you will apply in April for us for next year as well. So no need to apply right now. I'm sorry I misspoke about that. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. So both Madison Promise and Shabazz will have April application windows open. And so now we're excited to invite you to learn more about Capitol High School, and we'll bring before us, we are very lucky to have the 2021 Wisconsin Counselor of the Year, School Counselor of the Year, Marianne Matt, to present about Capitol High.
Langston, thank you. That was a nice honor. Yes, Capitol High. I'm the school counselor at Capitol High. We are in our 9th year as a school. So we are young, older than Madison Promise, but definitely younger than Shabazz and the other comprehensive high schools. And we're building our systems. We can move to the next slide. This is where I want to tell you where we're located. We are in our 2nd year at our location at 3802 Regent Street, right next to beautiful Hoyt Park. It's about a mile west of West High School, so right in the heart of Madison. We do have buses, Dodgers, that come from Memorial High School and La Follette High School. And students are also able to get to us just the regular city buses along University Avenue as well. We serve students from all around the city, and we can go to the next slide. This is our equity vision. I'm going to read it because I think it is powerful. Read. Empowered by personalized learning in a diverse and supportive community, strengthened by family and communities such as, school partnerships, all students will graduate prepared to succeed on their individual pathway. We truly try to live this equity vision within our work and everything that we do as we plan for our students. We can go to the next slide. Students who find success at Capitol High, they will be willing and hopefully eager to be part of a smaller community. Currently, we have about 140 students. We hope to have up to 200. That's what we can serve at our site. We want you to be interested in building good working relationships with adults and with other students as well. We focus on skill attainment, not credit attainment. I'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. And also, our students often benefit and thrive in a an environment that focuses on building community and relationships. A lot of times students that come to Capital are referred to as relationship students because they really do appreciate relationships with others and that close connection they can form. Go ahead and go to the next slide. So we are a competency-based education school, and we graduate by portfolio. So what that means is that students continue to show their skill through benchmark attainment on the same standards that are required at all of our high schools. But our units of learning can be flexible, so that way students can either extend their learning or even accelerate over time as well. We do try to provide voice and choice for our students in their learning. With competency education, we're focused on growth over time. Students learn at different rates, so students can attempt, reattempt benchmarks, and we do celebrate that. We recognize that students often need to have that opportunity to reattempt things and to raise their grades. Our students are empowered at Capital. We help them track their progress with their benchmarks to set goals. We know our students know their strengths and they know their areas of growth. Every year, our students build a portfolio, and it builds each year until your senior year, where you have a culmination of all of the skills that you have attained throughout your high school career, whether you join us at 9th grade or if you join us at 11th grade. We are hoping that our students are getting a full experience. We do have some elective courses, and we're continuing to grow those. Right now, we have a lovely culinary arts kitchen. We made a Thanksgiving meal for our whole school. We have a digital arts class. We have a fine arts studio art class, and we're hoping to have more in the future, especially in the healthcare pathway. Again, with that portfolio, though, students are talking about their futures. That's one of the components. They're talking about their self-knowledge, and ultimately, they're talking about their academic mastery. So within that portfolio, they're adding artifacts every year to show that they are growing as a student. Students at Capital do receive a diploma from Madison. It's a Capital High diploma, and it is the regular diploma. I get that question a lot. Students at Capital are also able to play sports and belong to clubs at their comprehensive high school. Right now, I'm working with one of our seniors who played football at West High School, and he's applying to different colleges. Our school day is from 9 a.m. to 2:15 p.m. And I'll be able to answer questions in the chat as we get to it. We can go to the next slide. So Capital High, just like Shabazz and Madison promised, we will open our admissions for fall of 2025 in April. We will hold tours and we will have interviews with students. And basically, when we say interviews, it is getting to know a student. It's nothing like a job interview. It is very much what works for you in your learning, what kind of support do you need at school, those kinds of questions. So please do talk to your school counselor or to another support staff member at your school. Families as well, please do that. You can visit our Capital High admissions page and find all of our information there. Currently, it has our admissions information for next semester for current high school students, but it will be updated by February to have all the information for our fall semester. I want to point out too, we do have parenting support on site for any students that might have the need for a daycare. I think that is all I've got, but I do look forward to hopefully visiting with some of you on a tour in the springtime. Thank you.
And just as another reminder, there is interpretation available. Next slide. Thank you. I'm happy to be back again. My name is Langston Evans, and I am the Director of College and Career Readiness for the Madison Metropolitan School District. I'm very happy to hear for from 3 of our choice schools here in the Madison Metropolitan School District. We are so happy to have those options for students. This is also another reminder that for those folks that want to get to know more about our 4 comprehensive high schools, each of those schools will have an in-person night on their campuses in January. So those dates we've previously shared, and they are in the slideshow. And so now we're going to talk, we first said we were going to talk about some of the school choices that you would have. You have the 4 comprehensive high schools, the neighborhood schools, and 3 of our choice schools that you would apply to. And now we're going to talk about some of the programming that are available in our comprehensive high schools. We have college access programming, and that People program and Information Technology Academy are offered through the University of Wisconsin-Madison. We previously spoke about the People program day they have a virtual opportunity to learn about and an in-person opportunity that will be coming up in January. And Information Technology Academy is another UW-Madison pre-college program that focuses on technology and digital literacy. And you can speak to your middle school counselors about the application for that. And we also have dual language, which you'll hear about shortly. Next slide, please. But first, we'll talk about Avid Tops, which is a pre-college program we have within our Madison Metropolitan School District. One of my roles as a director of college and career readiness is the Avid district director for the Madison Metropolitan School District. And so what is Avid Tops? Avid stands for Advancement via Individual Determination, and TOPS stands for Teens of Promise. And AVID is an almost 40-year-old college preparatory system, which prepares our students for success in high school and beyond. And we've had it in the Madison Metropolitan School District since 2007. But what makes AVID TOPS really special is that the partnership that we have between the school district and the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County is one of a kind in the world. We offer world-class experience for our students that engage in our Avid Tops class that they cannot get anywhere else in the world. And so we are very proud to offer our students that opportunity. Next slide, please. And we want to talk a little bit about what that opportunity looks like. We'll ground in the mission for Avid, which is, as you can see on the screen, to close the opportunity gap by preparing all students for college and career readiness in a global society. And what that means is that we are looking for students who fit the profile that you see. Students who have college potential with support, that there are students that are in the middle of the road. They have the potential to succeed in college, but maybe aren't exactly succeeding the way they want to right now and need a little boost. That students who are willing to have individual determination and desire to work for post-secondary success. And then we are always encouraging students who are underrepresented in higher education, be they the first in their family to go to college, be they students of color, be they students who have families with more limited economic resources. We're always highly encouraging those students to apply to the Avid Tops elective class. And what does that class look like? That Avid Tops elective class meets every day, just like a regular class in high school, and it meets all 4 years. So you will be with the same group of students and teacher for 4 years. And in fact, it really becomes a family. In that class, students will get additional support, including college tutors and resources so that they will succeed in a rigorous college preparatory curriculum, including the expectation that those students take AP courses and early college courses. Students will have an opportunity to visit colleges every year and at least once visit colleges out of the state of Wisconsin. Students will have their senior year will have additional coaches that will successfully work with them to apply to college, enroll in college, engage in financial aid, and then they will get college support and coaching all the way through college until they graduate from college. And then students have the opportunity for paid summer internships. They have job shadowing opportunities and other exciting career connected experiences that they will get through the Avid Tops elective class. Next slide, please. I invite you to check out this 3-minute video hearing from some of the people who are actually in the Avid Tops program in MMSD.
Avid Tops offers all students within the Madison Metropolitan School District the opportunity to prepare for their futures after high school, whether that be the college route, the career route, or the trades. We take students on field trips, open them to career opportunities, paid internships, and other awesome experiences both inside and outside of the classroom.
I think Avid helps students grow their confidence and their skills so that when they leave our high school and our program, they feel more prepared for their future and more confident in themselves and their abilities.
We look for students who are willing to take rigorous classes, AP classes, kind of push themselves.
From 9th to 12th grade, students have opportunities to really learn about what it means to be successful in high school, exploring college and career opportunities, and then taking action. So it's a sequence that we design so that they reach their goals.
So when students are freshmen in Avid classes, they really are thinking about like high school readiness. So we make sure that they understand how they're graded and how to start high school off on the right foot. And then throughout the years, we start thinking about college and career readiness, making sure that they know the goal is not just to like get into college, but actually to make it through college successfully.
I joined Avid because I want to be basically the first generation to go to college in my family, and just to like get ahead, because I heard Avid will keep me ahead in school, and chasing education is where it's at, like is where you need to be, and that's where I want to be in life.
They really focus on like your academic future and really focus on making sure that you're finding what you want to do, and like the environment in the classroom is just very family-like, and it's very like easy to get along with everyone.
Just wanting to get more out of school. That's like, they push me on my peers in Avid, my teacher for Avid. It's just, they push me to do more, and I like that.
We do a lot of like campus visits and just being like in the outside environment, seeing if that's really a good fit for us. It's just like a good opportunity to have.
I think scholars should join Avid because they know that they're going to be welcomed into a community that's going to push them, that's going to have high expectations for them, and it's going to help them reach the goals that they and their families set for themselves.
The kids push each other, since they know one another, to reach their goals. So since they all have that goal of college readiness and getting into college, they all kind of work together to make sure that everyone's successful.
All right, next slide, please. All right, the application window for current 8th graders to be in the next year's 9th grade Avid Tops elective class opens January 7th and closes January 31st. After applications are submitted, and it's an online application, the high schools will interview the candidates that they choose, and then students will receive acceptance later in April and May. A note is that all students who are interested in the Avid Tops elective class for 9th grade must apply, even if they are currently in an Avid class in their middle school. And then another note is that if students are not accepted their first try for the 9th grade Avid elective class, they can apply again and join the Avid elective class in 10th or 11th grade. All right, next slide. To receive more information, we invite 8th grade students and families to contact the AVID coordinator at your middle school. That information is linked into this slide. Next slide. And here we will pass it over to our, I believe, Anna, who will be talking about our wonderful and amazing world-class DLI program we have in MMSD.
Yes, I will. Thank you, Langston. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ana Salcido. I'm a compliance teacher leader in the Office of Multilingual Programs and Services. I'm going to share information with you tonight about dual language immersion programming in the high school level. Participating in dual language immersion is another option to personalize a student's high school experience. The dual language program offers a unique and enriching educational experience that prepares students for a globalized world. It enhances their language skills, cultural understanding, and future career opportunities. Next slide, please. Dual language immersion, or DLI as we call it, is an option for students at East, La Follette Memorial, and West High School. You will notice on your screen our program goals on the left. The DLI program allows students to learn grade level content while developing multicultural skills, as the program fosters an understanding and appreciation of different cultures. The program also gives students the opportunity to work towards the achievement of bilingual literacy, as students enhance their literacy skills in both English and Spanish in the program. On the right, you will notice course options available for DLI participation. Students have the opportunity to take their social studies courses in Spanish, as well as Spanish literacy. Keep in mind that course options do vary at different school sites. Next slide, please. Students participating in the DLI program have the chance to earn the Wisconsin Seal of Biliteracy. This is an award that's given to graduating high school students who have demonstrated advanced proficiency in 2 or more languages, as well as sociocultural competence by the time they graduate from high school. It's important to note that the Seal of Biliteracy, it's not only an opportunity that's offered to students in DLI. However, the goals of the DLI program, they do align with the requirements for the Seal of Biliteracy. Next slide, please. So how to participate in DLI. So first of all, if you have a student, an 8th grade student who is currently participating in DLI, you really do not have to do a next step. Just select the DLI recommended courses during course selection in January to continue into the program. We'll make sure that the students from 8th grade roll over to 9th grade DLI at one of the 4 high schools that offers it. Next slide, please. If your child is a Spanish speaker, and is interested in joining DLI or rejoining DLI, maybe they're currently not in DLI, but they like to rejoin it, you can submit an interest form. Someone from the district will contact you to schedule a Spanish language proficiency screener, and then we'll discuss available options with you. You can see on the screen, there's a link as well as a QR code that will take you directly to the interest form that you could submit. You notice there's also contact information, phone numbers, as well as emails that you can use to contact us if you have further questions. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mitch Starosik. I'm the Director of Pathways and Career Technical Education for MMSD. And I'm going to take us through the next portion of the presentation. If you could think back to the beginning of our time together tonight, we talked about the schools of choice that you have with Madison Promise, with Capital and Shabazz. And then we were talking about the individual programs that you can apply to, AvidTops and the DLI program. This next section is a little bit different because this is not about opportunities that you are applying to, but opportunities within the high schools that every student has the ability to access and still allow a degree of personalization of their high school experience. And so these are embedded opportunities, programs, engagements that students can have across our high schools as a means of personalizing their experience towards their own individual post-secondary goals. We'll go to the next slide. As a district, the way that we have organized a lot of these different experiences is truly through the way that we organize the high school experience, the staffing, and the supports that are available. All of our students have access to academic and career planning, trained professionals helping students navigate courses and opportunities that they can engage with throughout their high school experience. There are programs of study focused on individual career paths like culinary arts and automotive, a wide range of different programs of study that can help students build proficiencies in the subjects that matter most to them. There's a variety of personalized student supports, both with that academic planning, but also with additional services related to English language learners, related to special education, advanced learning cohorts, and other programming that will support students on their journey. Experiential learning opportunities, which I'll talk about in more detail a little bit later, but opportunities for students to engage with work study models, work-based learning, guest speakers, and other kind of connections to the community and to possible careers. And then finally, our high schools, to varying degrees and in different models, use a small learning community model, oftentimes cohorting students in 9th grade or 10th grade so that they are sharing, so that teachers share common students and can provide better support. All of this is accessible through our high schools, and students, through engagements with their counselors, through the academic and career planner coaches can truly personalize their high school experiences. Next slide. Two things that I want to highlight that have evolved from the local economy, really, and student interest has been a deep tradition of students engaging in coursework and with experiential learning connected to the health science field and information technology. Throughout middle and high school, we are regularly checking in with students to see, what are your interests, what are your plans in post-secondary life? And consistently, health science and information technology are two of the areas that our students have indicated that they have the highest interest. And we are lucky as a district to have a robust business community in both of these fields that have engaged with our high schools in a robust manner. And so if you are a student or you're a parent of a student that might have an interest in health science and infotech, I wanted to highlight that there are so many pathways, programs of study and engagements that students can participate in specific to these two areas. Next slide, please. In addition to the individual coursework that students might be taking in health science and IT, there are also in-classroom opportunities that our schools will set up through their ACP work, through counselors, and through our pathway learning coordinators, where they will be doing individual projects. They will bring in guest speakers from our business community to talk to the students about these professions. Additionally, students have the opportunity to engage in community cohesion events, site visits, job shadow experiences, and other types of connections to the IT and health science fields. One of the things that as a parent you might not be fully aware of is that there's a lot of activities and engagements that we do through a platform called Zello, where students are indicating kind of their career interest in various fields. And this information is highly valuable to us because we want to be able to connect students to these types of internships and experiences. And so throughout their middle school and their high school experience, we will be, making sure that we are finding the students that have interest in specific fields and then connecting them to these opportunities throughout their high school experience. Next slide. As I mentioned briefly, experiential learning is an opportunity that is robust and also maybe a little bit unknown, something that you might not be aware of. But we, across all of our high schools, every student in the district has the opportunity to engage with a wide range of experiential learning opportunities. We have organized and partnered with our business community to offer these opportunities in 3 different levels, thinking about how to build awareness among students in certain careers that they might not be aware of. And so there are all sorts of guest speakers and site visits that students will have the opportunity to opt into. We will hold career fairs at all of the high schools. I think there's actually one today at Capitol High School where there will be a variety of business partners and different career representatives there. And so students can learn and build awareness of what types of jobs, post-secondary pathways there are available to them. For the student that is a little bit more certain or has an idea of what they're interested in doing already, throughout the high school experience, students can engage with job shadows. We can connect them with an industry professional for them to shadow for a day or two. We've done kind of like information interviews or have students doing specific projects where, hey, I'm thinking about being X, Y, and Z professional. We can get them connected with a corporate partner that can kind of help them decide if that's what they are looking for. And then finally, we have highly rigorous engagements that are designed to actually prepare students for those professions once they've maybe determined, hey, I want to be a registered nurse, I want to go into software development. We have summer internships, clinical experiences, and registered youth apprenticeships where students can engage for over 2 years, earning paid employment with a business industry partner of ours, taking related coursework, through these programs. And so this is all to say that if you're a student or you're a parent of a student that is thinking about different careers or different opportunities for post-secondary engagement, whether you're just trying to build some awareness, do a little bit of exploring, or get started right now preparing yourself for those post-secondary plans, we can get you connected and signed up for an opportunity. Next slide. Beyond kind of like leaving the classroom and going out into the field or working with a business partner, career certifications are also available through our career and technical education program. So for students that, again, have kind of identified what it is that they're interested in, there are real valuable industry certifications that students can be earning while they are attending their high school. We offer certifications in a wide range of subject matter, from business and IT, from culinary arts. Our automotive classes are ASE certified. And so students in whatever field that they are interested in can be pursuing a valuable industry credential right now while they are in high school. For students that are trying to take coursework that is specific to that interest, that is going to be typically through the Career and Technical Education Department, and their middle school counselors and their high school counselors will be best able to advise which specific program is appropriate for them, or for them to kind of explore and test out a couple different ones. So that's Career and Technical Education, and that's just selected through the course selection process. Nothing kind of on the side being applied for. Next slide. Okay, and the last kind of major category that I want to highlight is that there is also a robust set of opportunities available for students to be earning college credit while they are still in high school. Kind of combined with the career certifications, these are viewed as, from the district perspective, as opportunities for students to be accelerating towards their post-secondary future. A lot of students might know what job they want to go to, and so they're taking specific career tech ed programs to advance that. Students that know what they want to major in or want to explore some different college level coursework, there is a robust set of offerings for students to be earning college credit while they're still working towards high school graduation. I made this slide a while ago as a way to sort of differentiate all of these different buzzwords that you might have heard about as it relates to college credit. There's a bunch of different programs students can engage in. You might have heard of advanced placement or dual credit. Those are programs that are happening within our high school. And then we have a robust set of dual enrollment programs, both part-time, meaning a student would be leaving their high school for part of their day to go to UW-Madison or Madison College. And we also have some full-time opportunities where a junior or a senior could actually stop attending their high school full-time and be on a college campus for their entire senior year, for example, while still earning high school and college credit. I'm going to talk a little bit more about those on the next slide. Probably the college credit opportunity that you might be most familiar with is the AP courses through College Board, Advanced Placement. These are courses that are, for the most part, 11th and 12th grade enrollees. There are courses available to students younger, but these are college courses, college level rigor courses that at the end of the course, a student can sit for the advanced placement exam. And if a student earns a 3, 4, or a 5 on the end of course exam, it would confer articulated college credit. We have, I think, like 34, 35 different AP courses across our high schools. Some examples: AP college, AP biology, AP art. There's some like digital design, studio art, computer science. Pretty much in every subject, there's some AP courses available for our students. On the right-hand side, as I mentioned, these are AP is happening at your high school, and students are signing up for it as part of the course selection process. Same thing for dual transcripted credit, available to 11th and 12th graders. These are courses taught by MMSD high school students, but actually confer Madison College credit. Some examples of those: we have a medical terminology course for the students that are interested in health science. Also, we have a math reasoning, intro to college writing, intro to college reading, dual credit courses, all available for students just to sign up to through their course selection process. If a student is interested in a college course that's not available at their high school, they are able to, sorry, I'm getting some feedback. If students are interested in leaving their high school to earn some college credit, they would be applying to take an individual course either through the Early College Credit Program or Start College Now. For all intents and purposes, those two programs or those two options are functionally the same. They just refer to, if you're going to take a class at UW-Madison, it's called the Early College Credit Program. If you're taking it at Madison College, it's called Start College Now. But this is an opportunity for when a student is an 11th or a 12th grader, they can leave their high school for 1 or 2 classes at a time to take the courses on a college campus. 100% free of charge. The MMSD covers the full tuition and the fees. Again, students can take up to 2 courses in any one term. And so I know right now we're talking about 8 to 9 transition, but this is one of the things that you should be thinking ahead about, because when the student finishes 10th grade, they can begin taking these college classes, saving tuition money, and kind of build it into their high school plan towards graduation. Next slide, please. Those last 2 programs are part-time, like I said, 1 or 2 classes at a time. We do have the option for students starting in 11th grade to actually go full-time on a college campus to finish out their high school experience. The Early College STEM Academy is for, as the name suggests, students that are interested in pursuing a post-secondary future in a STEM field. Current 10th graders would apply for a 2-year enrollment in the Early College STEM Academy. So 11th and 12th grade would be fully 100% on the Madison College campus, taking a curriculum focused on STEM careers. At the end of that 2 years, the student would complete their high school diploma, and also they're on average leaving with upwards of 45, 50 college credits already under their belt. So a wonderful opportunity for the student that has identified that the STEM field is where they're going to be pursuing post-secondary credentials and is interested in a full-time enrollment in college. Additionally, we also have what we're referring to as senior academies, which are also full-time enrollment, but it is only a one-year commitment. It is just for senior year. So current 11th graders would apply for a 12th grade full-time enrollment at Madison College. Students can earn up to 30 college credits and an industry credential. And there are 4 senior academies available. One in education for individuals that are thinking about being a teacher in the future. Biomedical lab science are students that might want to go into be a medical lab technician, a phlebotomist, something along those lines. Networking and cybersecurity are for our IT hardware students that are interested in the hardware and cybersecurity side of computing. And then something called Running Start, which is if a student has an interest in an academy that Madison College offers a credential in, maybe it's something in like diesel technology or some other industry that's a little bit more niche, we can build them basically a program of study through Running Start. So that's absolutely a lot of different programs, a lot of different ideas. But I guess the thing I want you to take away from this is to say that there are all sorts of ways to personalize your high school experience through advanced coursework. Some of them begin right away with the courses that you're selecting going into 9th grade, but some of these advanced courses become available 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. And so continue to talk with your counselor, your academic and career planners to help kind of forge that path that is most beneficial to you in your future. I believe I have one last slide. Yes, and it's simply to say that what you as an individual student might want to do may not exist yet. It may not exist in a program that we've named yet, but that doesn't mean you can't begin to further kind of your own journey on that path. That is why talking to your counselor, talking to your ACP and other, the teachers that you are connected with is so important, because there are so many individual opportunities and we can help you find what would be most beneficial to you. So if you feel like what I just described does not fit exactly what you're looking for, that's great. Talk to your counselor and we'll help find you something that will help kind of more personalize your high school experience. Thank you.
That's me. So we're just at the tail end. Hi, everyone. My name is Jessica Miller, and I am a middle school college and career coordinator for the Madison Metropolitan School District. And so I mainly work with our 12 middle schools across the district. And I just want to give you kind of what's heads up for coming up next. So what's happening kind of right now in your classes with your 8th grade student is they are receiving potentially some lessons either starting now or in January about the different high schools and talking about different, what are their passions and their interests and what are some potential classes that they can be taking. So also the high school counselors are going to be coming to visit with your middle school, and your middle school student is going to be receiving a course card that aligns with one of the 4 high schools. And so on that course card, they're going to be able to pick some of the English and math classes and their science, but also then on the back is a whole bunch of different electives that they can be selecting. Also, just remember that each of those high schools are hosting their informational nights. And then the most important one is make sure you're having conversations with your student about this, and even having them show you the course card so you know what classes they are potentially picking for 9th grade. Again, it's all request. It's not a guarantee that they're going to get into their top elective classes, but we just wanted to let you know. So that's kind of what's happening in the next 2 months, especially once they get back from winter break. Your 8th grade will be talking a lot with the different counselors and different 8th grade teachers. So this is kind of what the course card looks like. They can be able to select the classes and they're going to be writing it in. And then again in January, they will be bringing this home. So I highly recommend you ask for it. They do need to fill it out. What is their current middle school? It does ask if you are applying to AVID. They just write yes or no. It also asks if you're applying to the Dual Language Immersion Program, DLI. So they need to just indicate to that. So I just wanted to show you, and then usually on the back of the course card will be all the different electives the kids can pick. And so then what after that final step is the middle school students need to be selecting, and then they, after the course card, they're going to be putting their course requests into Infinite Campus. If you have an older student, we used to use Zello. We're not using Zello anymore. We are going to be using Infinite Campus. And so your student's going to be entering that in, and that needs to be completed by Monday, February 3rd. The window of that is, hold on one second, let me find it. There's a window that your student will be entering this in. And that window is going to be Monday, January 20th to February 3rd is when they will be entering those course requests into Infinite Campus. And I guess, and again, an 8th grade teacher, a school counselor, an academic career planning coordinator will be helping your student to do this. However, you can see this too on your student's computer, or even if your student has the Infinite Campus app on their phone, they can access that as well. And then just the last couple things, it is a timeline of what is happening. So you're attending this. We highly, highly encourage all our families to attend the high school nights in January and February. And then just depending, sometimes they're also starting in March, and in March and April might be learning more about some of the clubs that the high schools have to offer. And then just remember there's summer school in July and September. Some of the high schools might host a, welcome to high school event. So just kind of keep a lookout for that. And then after that kind of all done, it's kind of just, it's all there. Every of our high schools have websites that are just for all our incoming 9th grade students. So we highly recommend that you check out all the websites and all the information that is there. And all the different courses and catalogs that you can access. So yes, if you have any questions, please email me and I can decipher all that information to the different people you heard from today. And I can get you an answer, and it's a lot of information, and it's a very, very exciting time for your incoming 9th grader, but just know that we're here to support you. There's a lot of different options and opportunities for your kids to excel, and, for them to meet their goals and meet their interests and their passions that they have. So please email me, and just remember that we've got you and we're all in this together. And, we appreciate you all coming to our presentation. So if there are any questions, please pop them in the chat and we can kind of be answering them. Susie, are there any specific trends of questions that you wanted to pop on and answer really quick for anyone?
No,
Susie
I
was
don't.
checking.
I was trying to keep up. They were all pretty different. A lot of questions about Capital and Shabazz and the programming. But we can also answer questions live if anybody would like to unmute and ask. We're happy to do that too.
Don't know if there is any.
Thanks for the presentation.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
All right.
Yep.
I think we're all good.
Yeah, thanks everyone. If you
Thank
have
you.
individual questions, you're welcome to stay on. Otherwise, you are welcome to head
Thank
out for the night.
you.
Thanks, everyone. Have a
Thanks
great
for
night.
joining us. Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you, gracias. Spasiba.